Hey everyone, it's Tom Buck from the Calder Group. With everything that's going on at the moment in terms of stock market performance, concerns about investments and pensions, I thought it might be worthwhile to have a chat with someone who can hopefully cut through the emotion, the fear and the concerns and start to put a little bit of common sense, if that's the right word, into what's going on and take away the noise of the media. So we've got Alex on here from Blackfinch Wealth. Hi, Alex.
Hi there.
Obviously, we work together. I've done quite a bit of due diligence with you over the years. We use you for the clients where it's appropriate, and your style of investment and your approach works nicely. And obviously, with what's going on at the moment, you're probably rather busy.
Yeah, just a bit, yes. It's testing times for sure.
So thank you very much for taking the time out to answer the questions. Really, I just wanted to put 6 questions that we tend to be getting from our clients at the moment, see what your thoughts are, and hopefully try and get a bit more sound, sane information out there.
Yeah, perfect. Hope so.
Okay, so we work with clients a lot in terms of cash flow modelling. We're constantly looking at like retirement planning and how we can make their money work, what kind of money they need. How do clients remain calm? I mean, I spoke to a client this morning where we looked and said, even with this stock market fall and perhaps falling another 35%, being deliberately negative, they still had enough capital, they still had enough income that they could live to 100 and still be financially secure. Is that the kind of conversation we should be having with our clients to try and keep them calm and guide them through this period?
Yeah, absolutely. This has not been the first market crash, and unfortunately it will not be the last. And this is where the value of an independent financial advisor really comes into its own, because a lot of clients who are not so experienced with investing will naturally be quite shocked with the recent performance in terms of global markets. And that's actually something that we promote, sharing this information on previous market crashes through literature such as our potential range of returns documents. That actually helps to highlight previous market corrections and crashes. And not only does it look at how far the markets and their portfolio would have fallen, crucially it looks at, okay, at the depths of that trough, how long does it take to recover my money, to break even again, to get every penny of my money back? And that's something which the capacity for loss question, as yourself as an advisor you're covering off, is something that is covered normally at the start. So whilst it's not very nice to see the valuations look as they do today, we absolutely want to communicate that our portfolios are designed to deliver positive returns ahead of inflation after fees over any rolling 5-year period. So the short-term volatility is very uncomfortable, but we always maintain a 5-year plus view when we're looking at building the portfolios. We're sort of seeing, okay, in 5 years' time, what do we expect the trends to be in global economies? What do we expect the behaviour of different asset classes to be like? And actually, we can use these periods of market drawdown as attractive entry points or exit points for investments that are within the portfolios. So I would sort of echo really what you were saying in terms of clients who are worried. Yes, it isn't very nice to see this, but we have been here before, we will be here again, and we will recover from this. How long that will be is, of course, the million-dollar question. But fundamentally, that's why we approach investing in the way that we do, and that multi-asset approach, as we covered earlier, is absolutely vital at this stage.
Yeah, and that's fine. And again, with everything, because we're independent, we're looking around for the clients who are looking for that set return. Your portfolio can fit quite nicely, but again, it's looking at the underlying investments, making sure, and it's why probably the clients probably get more information from myself than they sometimes feel is necessary, but I need to know what you're investing in, otherwise I can't give the advice to make sure it's the right portfolio out of the ones out there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very important in times like now where we can talk to our advisors such as yourself and say, look, this is what's going well in the portfolios, this is what's hurting the portfolio values, and this is what we're doing about it, because ultimately that's our job and that's what we're here to do. So yeah, that open line of communication is vital, and then you take from that what you need and disseminate it to clients is very important.
And obviously everything's changing on a almost minute by minute feel at the moment. We don't seem to have any sort of period of relax and get used to something. Are you looking from an economy point of view of the government making any more changes, or are we pretty much know now that we're going down the Chinese route of full lockdown, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it does look to me as in that's where we'll go, particularly as that's what France are doing. And if you consider just how close geographically that is, that really does.
Yep.
It's quite shocking how different our response is at the moment to a country which is actually just a few miles across the channel. So personally, yes, I do believe we will go down that road for perhaps 14 days, who knows. And the economic impact of that will be severe. And we're already seeing that today, and we saw that unfortunately with Laura Ashley just a few hours ago, calling administrators. And I think that is an unfortunate sign of things to come. What the markets so desperately need is a collaborative and cohesive approach from global governments, directly aimed at how are they going to support businesses in their respective countries. And that's what's missing. And particularly in the US, frankly, the response there has been dreadful. And markets have really reeled from that. And we saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
We need cohesive collaboration from governments across the world, really, on a formal plan on how to sort of support business. We've had some good news coming out from central banks. The policy there has been supportive, but that's not been enough to help markets. They really need that direction and that oversight from the governments working with the central banks to give the market that bit of confidence. And that piece is what is missing from the sort of the market finding its base.
Okay, so what we're talking about is what came out from President Macron overnight, saying no business will fail no matter what the size.
Yes.
Great words, but we just need to know, well, what does that mean and how are you going to do it then?
Can you demonstrate what that actually means? But you're right, the rhetoric is there, and we need some more of that rhetoric from other governments as well. And then, yes, some actual demonstration and also some practical application of how that's working with businesses to give the market some sort of confidence, and then it can find its floor, and then we can build up from there.
Okay.
So absolutely what's missing.
That's fine. I'm aware of time, and obviously you've got a lot to be getting on with, as am I. I suppose the last thing is there anything else clients should be aware of, or is it just a case of put the seatbelt on, go through the ride, let's get out the other side, and then take stock of where we go forward from there?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we've spoken to a few underlying clients throughout this as well, and those who have lived through previous market shocks and drawdowns really are quite, I wouldn't say relaxed, but they are less concerned than we thought they may be, and a lot are using this as a buying opportunity. Now, if this is the bottom or not is absolutely something I would not be willing to sort of state. I mean, but there are a number of clients that say, look, I was looking at investing back in January. I can now pick up the portfolio 15% less than it was, or if I'm going into individual markets, I can get those 20-30% less. Now, there's due reason for that. But for those clients with the longer term time horizon, are happy to take that calculated risk, then a lot are seeing this as actually it's not all doom and gloom. And I think the main thing for the clients to bear in mind really is that this isn't to be viewed on a short-term basis. Investing never is, and this is exactly the reason why nobody would advocate investing for a very short period of time. So it's either sort of, if you're in the market and you're not looking to commit further capital, then yes, it's a case of you've kind of really got to ride this out, and with a good active investment manager and an advisor by your side, that's the sort of guidance that will sort of see you through the other end.
All right, that's perfect. Alex, thank you very much for taking time out of a busy day. Thank you very much for some wise words and cutting through the noise from the media. And let's hope we get through this sooner than later.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
Okay.